Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Richard West. I'm a Colorado sports fan, obviously. Today we got week 6 predictions for the NFL 2025 season. Let's just jump into it. This time around, only 2 teams on bye. That is the Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. So fans of those teams, we will see y'all next week. And yeah, starting off with this Thursday night football game between the Eagles and the Giants. Eagles 4-1, Giants 1-4. Eagles, damn, 30th in yards, 14th in points, 20th in yards allowed, 16th in points allowed. Statistically not looking good. Giants 19th in yards, 28th in points, 26th yards allowed, 22nd in points allowed. Not good at all across the board, but let's be honest, we all knew that. Eagles obviously coming off a very satisfying loss to Denver. Very happy to say that. Very great performance from the team. And who did the Giants lose to? I can't even remember. Oh yeah, the Saints. I can't believe that. I'm pretty sure last week was my first negative record of the season so far. If I'm not miscounting, I think I'm 6-8 on last week. There were a lot of surprising games that just went the opposite way at the very end. Many winless teams were able to get their first win. I could not have predicted that many would have, but yeah, here we are. Yeah, I don't know. The Eagles really gave it up in the fourth. I don't know what happened there, but we were just getting stop after stop after stop. We were putting up point after point after point. Brian Daboll has been in the media, like stirring the pot on this one. I think he said something about AJ Brown and them just not using him well. I don't know what he thinks gives him the right to act all cocky at this point in time. I've been a pretty big Daboll and Joe Shane supporter, but yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I think stuff like that, and with it being a Thursday night game, it's making everyone kind of believe that this is going to be the Eagles just got their first loss. I'm sure they're pissed off, but like you look at the statistics, like I said, Jackson Dart is going into his third start, I think. Even though the Giants are at home, I don't see competition here. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see them get blown away. You know, Eagles coming off a loss, they're going to be away. You could argue that like maybe they'll just add on another, but I don't see it. I don't see it with the Giants unless they're game planning like crazy, and that's why Daboll was cocky about it. I have no idea. I think this could be a trap game in that people are thinking it's a trap game going into it, and then that solidifies a trap where they just stick with what we would expect, which is the Eagles winning. I don't really know. Just from a talent perspective, I know their offense is getting a little bit as the season goes on. It's pissing Eagles fans off. I think they'll correct it, especially because before it was like, well, yeah, you can complain about the offense, but we're still winning. Now it's like, no, now it's losing us games. So I gotta go with Eagles. All right, next up we got the Broncos versus Jets. Another international game, 8:30 a.m. at least in Central Time. Broncos finally positive, 3-2. Jets 0-5, the only winless team left in the NFL. Broncos statistically we look great. 10th in yards, 18th in points, 5th in yards allowed, 2nd in points allowed. Defensively we just look awesome, dude, and we don't even have all our starters. In fact, we've had a lot of them out. Malcolm Roach, Dre Greenlaw, Drew Sanders, they've all been out. I think Malcolm Roach is back in for this week. The rest are on IR. Jets 20th in yards, 19th in points, 22nd in yards allowed, and 31st in points allowed. Obviously, I think we're the better team here. I've been a huge supporter of Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn, Tanner Engstrand, and just the Jets offensively. Defensively, they look terrible. The stats reflect it. But guys like Justin Fields, I mean, they're trying so hard. He's playing so well. It's not his fault they're losing. It sucks. It's very frustrating. That being said, talent aside, stats aside, eye test aside, play aside, everyone is kind of suggesting that this might be a trap game because it's international. You got 2 teams. You got the Broncos coming out, you know, and Jets are the only winless ones. I don't think that's it. Statistically, and just in terms of how they're using players and how they're performing, they're not able to tie a game together. And you could say, well, they're due, but defensively, they've just been awful. Like literally, they can't do anything. The defense, it's the Bengals. It's the Bengals situation. Literally the entire story last year. It doesn't matter how well the offense does. The defense is going to let games get away from them. And also, when you look at international games, I mean, usually they save that for the Thursday night, the Monday night. Yes, the Broncos have been struggling. Yes, they only won that because it was like a fourth quarter comeback when the Eagles weakened up, and then also against the Bengals, who are just awful right now. But I don't think the Jets are the ones that are going to bring us down to earth and throw a wrench into it. I would be extremely disappointed if that was the case. And like I said, you look at these other international games from the year, I mean, they've all gone exactly how you would expect. Kansas City versus Chargers. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting the Chiefs to be terrible going into this year. They were terrible all last year. They were terrible in the Super Bowl. Like, they just had the refs on their side. That's the only thing that got them to that point. Vikings, Steelers, Carson Wentz in, McCarthy out. I expected it. Vikings, Browns. Who expected the Browns to win that? I don't think they're doing trap games on 8:30 matchups. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't see enough redeeming qualities for the Jets so far to say that they're gonna break the winless streak here, especially not with the Broncos. I mean, there's something weird about Denver the past couple of years under Sean Payton. We're just good. We're just good on short weeks. I don't know what it is. A couple weeks ago, we had a Sunday matchup, then a short week going into that Monday game. Now it's another short week going into Sunday. We just perform better when we have less time. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I gotta go with my guys. Then we got Seahawks, Jaguars. Seahawks 3-2, Jaguars 4-1. Awesome matchup here. Jaguars off an amazing win against the refs. Seahawks 9th in yards, 5th in points, 16th in yards allowed, 12th in points allowed. Jags 15th in yards, 10th in points, 23rd in yards allowed, and 8th in points allowed. Jags are looking so good. Now, towards the second half, they really started to give it up against the Chiefs, so that's a little worrisome. I have been loving the way they've been using Travis Hunter, especially in that game, offensively and defensively. Dude was all over, making highlight plays on both sides of the ball. This is exactly what he was wanting to do coming into the league, and I'm so glad they're letting him do it. Everybody said he couldn't. Everybody said that he couldn't. They had him on offense and defense in one game. Liam Cohen is awesome. Now, honestly, if you had asked me last week, I would probably have the Seahawks beating the Jags here. I'm not gonna lie. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've been under the belief that the Seahawks are a Super Bowl team 100%. I think they're awesome. I think offensively, defensively, all this stuff. But like, that was a surprising loss against the Bucs. I'm not gonna hold it against them, but I will say that was a tough matchup. Then again, the Bucs are really, really good this season at getting those end of the wire last minute plays, like final possessions to take the game away. Like, I love seeing them do that. They're just experts at it at this point. And I think that's more bragging rights for the Bucs than it is any sort of like criticism against Seattle. That being said, the Jags just look so strong. I don't know. This is a tough matchup. This might be the toughest of the week. Also, I should have said this before. I don't know if I'm looking at all my notes here. Holy shit, that's purple because of the green screen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to underrate the Jags anymore. Like, I think I'm allowed to be a little bit more confident in them at this point. I'm just thinking about Seattle defensively, and I think coming off that loss, they're going to be a little bit pissed off. They're away. Jags have kind of an advantage there, but at this point, I'm gonna believe in the Seahawks. I'm gonna keep seeing what I've been seeing. I'm gonna expect them to go 4-2 here and take the Jags 4-2 as well. I'm gonna go with Seattle. Then we got the Chargers versus the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins coming off a loss against the Panthers here. Chargers 3-2, Dolphins 1-4. Chargers 12th in yards, 23rd in points, 7th in yards allowed, 6th in points allowed. Defensively, they look fantastic. Miami 28th in yards, 21st in points, 29th in yards allowed, 27th in points allowed. Just terrible across the board. I can't be confident in Miami. Who cares? LA. I would love for them to lose this and go 3-3, separate a little bit, but is that really going to happen? In Miami, if you can do it, do it. But sorry, I don't believe in y'all. All right, then we got Rams versus Ravens. I don't know if Lamar's in this one. I have some notes here about how the Ravens are coming off another loss. They've looked like the absolute worst they have in years, 1-4. They've only won against the Browns. They have yet to beat a good team. The Rams would be a good reset, and they've shown that they can be very beatable no matter how good they play offensively. But let's be honest, so have the Ravens. And I don't know if Lamar's back, so I'm not even going to bother reading any of those notes or the stats. I'm just going to say if Lamar's in, I'm going to say Ravens win. If he's not, I'm going to say Rams win. All right, then we got Cardinals, Colts. I think the Cardinals just lost to the Titans, gave Cam Ward his first win, which is, you know, how we ended up with the Jets being the only winless team left. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of saying that I just can't believe in the Cardinals anymore. I'm just going to go with the Colts. Screw it. All right, then we got the Cowboys versus the Panthers. Cowboys, even though they've had a tough year, I mean, 1st in yards, 4th in points. Defensively, bottom of the barrel. Offensively, top of the totem pole. Panthers are so weird and surprising on defense. At least they were against Atlanta, but I don't know. They're kind of on the same wavelength here. Cowboys 2-1, Panthers 2-3, but I'm gonna trust Dallas's explosiveness over whatever the Carolina has going on right now. All right, then we got New England versus New Orleans. Patriots 2-3, Saints 1-4. Statistically, these guys are all over the place. I don't even want to read them. The only good categories are Patriots are 13th in points and 9th in points allowed. Now, not only are the Saints at home, they're also coming off their first win against the Giants. That being said, the Giants are still a team that's terrible defensively, whereas with Vrabel, Pats are a different level. I mean, you see that in the points allowed. And one benefit that they have is now the Patriots know how to game plan for the Saints because they know what they do to win games, right? That's the first time it's happened. So their best plays where they got the most yardage, did exactly what they needed to do, built up momentum in the game. The Pats are looking to that in game planning for how to shut those down, because the Saints are definitely going to lean on those plays now. I think even away, the Patriots are probably going to shut this one down. They're coming off a win against the Bills, which is just crazy, but kind of, I'll go into this in a second, but the writing was kind of on the wall there. I don't know. These are two interesting QBs going into this year, May and Rattler, but yeah, I'm going to trust McDaniels, Vrabel, and May to get the job done here, even if they're not at home. So I'm going to go with Patriots. All right, then we got a division game, Browns versus Steelers. Steelers off their bye week. They're 3-1. Browns are 1-4. They just got rid of Joe Flacco for good. Gabriel is going into his second game as a starter, and they actually looked pretty good. I mean, he was getting the ball around. It was actually really cool to see, and I'm kind of excited for the future with Dylan Gabriel. I want to say tough team defensively that he's going up against here, but the stats don't reflect that. They don't reflect it at all. I don't know what the hell is going on. That being said, with the Browns this year, their only win being against the Packers, which was kind of an any given Sunday thing, that to me at this point means nothing. So even with the Steelers looking weaker defensively, I think offensively they look good enough. Similar to the last one, the stats all over the place, just offensively and defensively, it's terrible for both. Now, Dylan Gabriel could get better in this game and just kind of get used to Elwaying it with this team, but that's about it. They're coming off a loss to the Vikings. They can't really do anything. They had a fluke win. That's as far as I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Steelers. And we got Titans, Raiders, two 1-4 teams that I just couldn't care less about at this point. I don't know what's going on with. I was so excited going into this season about a division rival, and their offense is just, it's not doing it. I don't know what the hell's happening. We're only a couple weeks in still, but I think they're gonna have to get rid of Geno, like just bench him, because it's not working. It's not working. They gotta go with Cam Miller or something. But defensively, it's not there either. I'm gonna say the Raiders have easier competition this week. The Titans could get away with their second win here against another terrible team. I'm not really sure. I don't know if the Titans come off the momentum of that win and just get angry and come in here ready to fight, but I'm not willing to bet on them just yet. I'm gonna go with Vegas. Then we got 49ers, Bucks. These are two teams coming off of two very good wins, both 4-1. 49ers 5th in yards, 22nd in points, 15th in yards allowed, 7th in points allowed. In Tampa, 11th in yards, 7th in points, 11th in yards allowed, and 23rd in points allowed. Looking good. Now, everyone's been talking about it. Mac Jones had an amazing performance last week. I don't think it was a fluke at all, probably, but the Bucks just look so good. They love beating tough teams in close matchups at the very end of the game, and it's so fun to watch. I don't know. This is also a very hard game to predict here. I think I'm gonna go with the Bucks just because of that, like, beating no matter the team, beating them right at the end, and that whole factor of like taking it to the end of the game and winning, getting that final possession. But I would not be surprised if I was wrong here. All right, then we got the Bengals versus Packers. Packers off a bye as well. Bengals are 2-3. Packers are 2-1. Now the Bengals just made the stupidest decision of signing Joe Flacco. I have to assume that there's something that they know that we don't. I don't think so though. Statistically, Bengals are bad all across the board. I mean, listen to this: 32nd in yards, 29th in points, 30th in yards allowed, 30th in points allowed. Almost all in the 30s. I wrote some like crazy notes here. What does that say? I will never take any Packers win as guaranteed if they somehow manage to lose to this team. Even if Flacco does well, you can't rely on the defense. Zach Taylor needs to be fired. Packers are not only off a bye, they're also at Lambeau. Cincinnati is just terrible in every single way, offensively and defensively. Something needs to change. Their record does not reflect how terrible they are. I gotta go with the Packers. Then we got Lions versus the Refs. Now with the Lions, I'm just gonna say it. They have not slowed down since losing their coordinators. They lost so many coaches, and Dan Campbell's just proven it was all me. It was all me the whole time. Lions 4-1. Their only loss being the first week. Chiefs 2-3. Lions are 6th in yards, 1st in points, 8th in yards allowed, and 17th in points allowed. Chiefs are 8th in yards, 12th in points, 13th in yards allowed, 13th in points allowed. Now I'm gonna revel in this a little bit. The refs are not only negative on the season so far, but they also can't beat good teams. The Ravens, currently 1-4, was one of their wins, and the other was the Giants with Russell Wilson. Neither of those are impressive at this point, let's be honest here. I'm going with the Lions. Fuck the Chiefs. Second to last, we got the Bills versus Falcons. Bills 4-1, Falcons 2-2 and off their bye. Now, like I said earlier, Buffalo just lost to the Pats. That's their only loss on the season so far, and the writing was on the wall for them to lose to a team that's beneath them. They've had some really, really close games against, who was it? It looked close for the Saints, against the Jets, I think against Miami for a second there. So like, not really that surprising. And with the Falcons, they're just too inconsistent for me to be confident that they'll capitalize on the Bills coming off a loss and playing at home. I mean, their stats aren't even consistent here. Let's look at the Bills first. 3rd in yards, 3rd in points, 9th in yards allowed, allowed, 18th in points allowed. Then you look at the Falcons, 7th in yards, 26th in points, 1st in yards allowed, 15th in points allowed. I'm going with the Bills. And then last but not least, we have a revenge game between the Bears and the Redskins. Bears are 2-2 off a bye. Redskins are 3-2. Daniels is back, kicked the Chargers while they were down. Thank you so much. Bears are 17th in yards, 11th in points, 27th in yards allowed, and 28th in points allowed. Redskins are 13th in yards, 8th in points, 24th in yards allowed, 10th in points allowed. Really only bad in one category. And they're at home. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Redskins. Just I think it's gonna continue. I mean, there's literally no upside. I don't think people are gonna care that much if the Bears win in this one. And if they lose with a different coach from when the Hail Mary happened, they're just gonna get clowned even more. They gain nothing other than finally having a positive record, whereas the Redskins will just go 4-2 and increase the gap. I gotta go with Redskins. I gotta go with Washington. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below, anywhere you agree or disagree with me. But yeah, that is the video. Thank you for watching.